New makeup time! What's up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. In today's video, we're gonna be trying some new makeup! We are low-key getting ready for the Sephora sale, and I'm also just trying out some other bits that you guys have been asking me about. I picked up a couple of things about a week ago. I've been testing them out. I definitely have some first impressions. So today we're gonna be having some fun, getting ready, talking about new makeup, and I will share with you guys all of my thoughts. I have the new Saie Beauty foundation. I have the new Givenchy Prisme Libre concealer. I have the new Rare Beauty bronzing sticks. I have a new Dior quint for you guys. So if you want to sit down, have some fun, buckle up, let's get into it. First things first, we gotta put the hair back. All right, how do we like my new headband? I was actually sent this by a brand and I posted this on my Instagram, kind of jokingly saying I'm a real influencer now that I have one of these silly little headbands. But some of you guys did ask me where you can get this, so I'm gonna be linking it down below. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like it, guys, and don't forget to comment down below, just kind of letting me know your thoughts, anything else that you guys want me to review before the Sephora sale kicks in. Also, if you are new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Sophia. This is my channel that focuses on all things beauty and luxury. I do upload content every single week. A lot of it is makeup related. I do a lot of new makeup reviews. I do will I buy it styles of videos, favorites videos, tutorials, that kind of stuff. So if that is of interest to you, definitely consider subscribing to this channel, and you can click the notification bell to hear about every time I upload a new video. Okay, party people, let's get started. Of course, we have to first go in with foundation. I'm not going to put on any primers, which I'll explain in a second. As I mentioned, I have the new Saie foundation. This is called the Glowy Super Skin Foundation. I have the shade 2. One of the reasons why I picked this up is because it's marketed as a serum foundation. If y'all know, I am dry, okay? I'm dry and I like a little juicy juice to my skin. I like things that are super glowy. So I was definitely intrigued by this when I was going through like the new launches on Sephora. Rewind to last year, a lot of you guys know I didn't have a lot of success with foundations because every single brand was putting tons of hyaluronic acid in all of their foundations. That was the hit ingredient. And it was pretty much bad news bears for me for most of the foundations that were released last year. I found out that they really dried out my skin. They really didn't hold in the moisture. And so when I was looking at the ingredients and the marketing description for this one, it said that it's got like a new type of hyaluronic acid or different types of hyaluronic acid that hold the moisture into your skin. And so when I saw that, I was like, I'll be the judge of that. So I'm gonna show you what this looks like on my face, and I'm gonna share my thoughts because I have many. So first up, I'm just gonna sort of shake it. I do not recommend using any kind of like hydrating primer. I highly recommend that you sort of wait for your skincare to sink in before going in with this, because you guys are gonna see in a second just how glowy and liquidy this is. So here's what the shade 2 looks like. It's a little bit golden, but that's okay for me because I'm neutral. The first time that I used this, it was not a good situation because I put on way too much. You want to put on as little as possible because, as you guys will soon see, do you see how sort of oily and serumy it is? It gets really streaky really quickly, and you get to this point where you just don't know what to do with the excess foundation. You could use a sponge, but honestly, friends, I don't know. I don't think it really helps all that much. So what I've been doing is I've just been using as little as possible and then trying to really like work it into the skin with one of these flat top foundation brushes. I will link the style of this one down below. This one is from It Cosmetics, and this is what I like to use when I have a foundation that is very runny. Now, I'm just gonna tell you right off the bat, friends, I don't like this foundation. This foundation is going back to the store. I don't recommend it, and I will explain why. As you can kind of see from this application, it's extremely fussy to apply. Like, it just takes me so long to get it to lay nicely on my skin and not be streaky. I love the glowiness of it. It's just really hard to get it to not be streaky. I also noticed the first time that I applied this, it immediately made my sunscreen pill off of my face. Like, it's very oily. It has a very squalane type of texture to it, if you guys know what I'm talking about. If you've ever used like a squalane based skincare product or skin oil, it feels just like that. It's not going to be as oily as, let's say, the Westman Atelier Vital Care skin drops that I reviewed for you guys last year, which I also hated. It's not going to be as oily as that. It's a little bit more serum-y, so it's not that bad, but it's still sort of like similar vibe where you need to use only a little bit to cover your face, and you really have to work it into the skin. And I'm trying not to get it around my under eyes right now because we're going to go in with the Givenchy concealer. And when the Givenchy concealer mixes with this, it's just the base is so oily that it's really hard to like blend in the concealer and get the coverage that I want. Lastly, when it comes to this foundation, and I will insert some clips, hopefully you can see from the clips because it was at night after I've been wearing the foundation for a day. It just doesn't keep my skin hydrated. It doesn't wear very well. It clings to the dry patches, particularly around my mouth. And that is what I saw from every other hyaluronic acid foundation that I tried last year. So I really don't feel like this is any different. This kind of reminds me of like the Kosas Revealer foundation, which I know a lot of you guys like, but I don't like that one either. So if you've had luck with a lot of these hyaluronic acid foundations, then I think that you might like this. But if you're like me and you have dry skin, or you live in a dry climate where the moisture is going to evaporate a little bit more easily from your skin, I don't think that this is the best foundation for me to recommend to you. What would I recommend instead? I would recommend the Chanel #1 foundation. I'll link it down below because I feel like that foundation, it gives you the same amount of like glowiness and illumination, but I feel like it's much less fussy to apply and much easier to layer products over. And then second, I feel like it just wears so much more nicely than this one from Saie. So unfortunately, this is like a huge fail for me. This is going to be going back to Sephora as soon as I finish this Get Ready With Me. And yeah, that's that. I don't recommend it. Okay, I feel like I've gotten that on fairly evenly now. We're just gonna try and let that set as much as possible. I do think that shade #2 is a pretty good match because look, my chest and like my forehead and cheeks are pretty evenly matched. So if we are shade twins, #2 is good. Some of you guys who are shade twins to me as well have told me that #4 works well for you. So just a little tip for those of you out there. Now I'm going to go in with the new Givenchy concealer. This is the Prisme Libre Skin Caring Concealer. I have the shade N95. This is what I think is a pretty good shade as well, especially if you like a little bit more like brightening on the under eyes. Now this is supposed to be radiant. It's supposed to be medium coverage. It's supposed to be super hydrating. Pretty much everything that I like in a concealer. So you can kind of see how brightening that is. What do I think of this? I actually think this is a really nice concealer. What does this remind me of? It kind of reminds me a little bit of like the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Concealer. It reminds me a little bit of like the LYS concealer if you're looking for more of like a serum texture, but maybe something a little bit more affordable. That's a really good one. But I think this one, it's a little bit more reflective and brightening. I have tested this out multiple times now, like with and without this foundation. It definitely looks and performs better when I don't wear the Saie foundations. I think it's lovely. I think this is going to go into my Sephora recommendations video in the case of new products that have been released, maybe something that you guys don't already have that you want to try out. I feel like this stays pretty hydrated throughout the day. It's not as instantly satisfying for me as my Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Concealer because that one is a little bit thicker and fuller coverage, and it's so quick and so brightening. But I know a lot of you guys, you want something that is a little bit more like serum-y and hydrating. And for that, I think that this concealer is really, really nice. I think it's gonna look really good on mature skin. Pretty much anybody that has dry skin, I think this will be good. If you have more oily skin, I would probably recommend something slightly more matte if you're, concerned about natural oils and that kind of stuff. But you can see it did a really nice job sort of blurring my under eyes. And look right there, you can see how like the Saie foundation, it's still so oily on my nose, and I just can't it just like won't lay nicely. Do you see just how streaky it gets? I'm probably gonna have to go back in with my original brush straightened out. Do you see how frustrating it is? Next up, we're going to be doing some bronzing and contouring, and for that I have the Rare Beauty bronzing sticks. Now these are not new, but she did launch some new colors in the range, and it seems like what she's trying to do is launch more neutral shades, or at least neutral to cool shades that can be used a little bit more for contouring. One of the reasons why I didn't pick these up when they launched was, number one, I couldn't really get them because they sold out, and then number two, the shades looked very golden and orange, and I try to stay away from that. So I'm going to show you what these colors look like on my face, and I'll talk a little bit about my thoughts on the formula. I do just want to show you some swatches real quick. So here we have the original lightest shade, which is called Power Boost. Note how that one, it does look a little bit orangey, doesn't it? But we'll see how it looks on my complexion. And then we have the new shade here, which is called Bright Side. Much more neutral. So what I'm going to do today, guys, is I'm going to put this one on kind of like the tops of my cheeks and forehead, and then I'm going to use Bright Side to contour. I am going to be doing a separate review on all of like the new stuff from Rare Beauty, because on the day that I'm filming this, they did just launch 2 new shades of their liquid blush, and they also just launched lip oils. So I picked up both of the shades of the liquid blush and one of the lip oils. So make sure you're subscribed to my channel, because next week I'm going to be posting kind of like a roundup, going over the shades, what I think about them, and also sharing what I think these may be compared to. So I'll have more Rare Beauty stuff up soon. The way that I've been doing it is I just put it on like the tops of my face where like the sun will hit. So I'm going to do it like this. Should this be the thumbnail, guys? I'm gonna use this BK Beauty brush to smooth it out. I will try my best to link these brushes in the description box, especially with like the foundation brushes and things for cream products. I know a lot of you guys, you are always curious about the brushes. In terms of the formula, I can totally see why people really like these cream bronzer sticks, because they're extremely effortless. I think that they blend out super duper well. I was also testing them out on my hand, and I noticed they don't retain like a super, I don't want to say creamy finish. Like the creamy finish, it feels a little bit more of like a dry cream, almost slightly silicone-y in a way, not in a sticky way that is going to make your skin feel super dewy. They have a little bit more of like a matte finish. I don't know, comment down below, let me know what you think about Power Boost. I feel like this color is a little too orange for me, but let me show you the other shade, which once again is called Bright Side. So we're going to use this more as like a contour bronzer shade. I think that I much prefer this shade, to be honest with you. I think that you can definitely use this all over the face like I just did a second ago, where it's more of a bronzer. And then I think you also can use it as kind of like a bronzer as well. I just think that if you are like me and you are either like neutral to cool tone, this is going to be a much more versatile shade for you to pick up. Let me know what you guys think, because I'm contemplating returning the other one because it just, I don't know, pulls like a little bit orange on my face. But you can see that blended out super duper nicely. Next, as a blush, I'm going to be using the new Jones Road bronzer. This is in the shade Dusty Rose. I have a full review of this bronzer already live on my channel. Should have gone live this week, so you guys can check it out. You can use this as a bronzer if you are very fair, or whether you're fair or not fair, you can also use this as a very nice natural blush. So we're gonna go in with this. It's very pigmented, so I'm just kind of dabbing it on the back of my hand, and I think that this layers on top of bronzers very well, whether it be kind of like a cream bronzer or a powder bronzer. I would not put this on top of the Jones Road Miracle Balm or anything that's like extremely dewy. This is very silky and powdery, so I think if you do that, it's gonna get gunked up, it's gonna get patchy, you might get hard pan in here. I in general really have been loving this bronzer. I've been wearing it nonstop, both as like a bronzer for more natural days, but also as a blush that goes with literally every single eye look. Like this is the perfect neutral blush. It's kind of a, you know, it's kind of up to you whether you want this to be more of a blush or more of a bronzer. Some of you guys in the comments of that review were saying like, I don't really get it, it's just a blush. Well, you know, some people take bronzers and they use them as contours. Some people take contours, they use them as bronzers, or they take blushes and they use them as eyeshadow. Like it's makeup, guys. It can be whatever you want. I just wanted to show you how super pretty and natural this looks on top of the bronzing sticks, and also that you can get a good effect if you just kind of layer them on top of each other. Before we start the eyes, I'm just kind of going in with a little bit of my Hourglass finishing powders in this palette. I'm just lightly powdering around here because my face is just so dewy from the Saie foundation. I don't even usually powder, but I can just feel every cat hair that is in this room coming for my face as soon as I finish this video. And I hate picking cat hairs off of my face, but you guys know how it goes if you have pets. All right, friends, we're getting somewhere. We're blushed. I did my eyebrows with the Kosas Brow Pop and the Glossier Brow Flick. I'm just going to prep my lips with my favorite Dior Lip Sugar Scrub. I don't have any new highlighters to use today, and I'm not really feeling the highlighter, so I think we're gonna skip that. Although, did you guys see the new Dior Summer Collection and the new highlighters that are coming out? I think I'm gonna get both of them because you guys know I collect them. By the way, I forgot to mention I am going to be doing more reviews of Jones Road. I've got the Miracle Bombs, I have the mascara, I have the eye sticks or face pencils. I can never remember the name for that product, but the little concealers, and I'm testing all of those out. So make sure you're subscribed, stay tuned because more reviews are happening for Jones Road. But enough of that, we have more interesting products to test right now. I have none other than Dior Bronze Sepia. Sepia? Do you guys say sepia or do you say sepia? Because I never really know which one it is, but this is one of the newer quints from Dior. I think that this released, I want to say in January or February. I passed on it then and kind of waited to see if I really wanted it. And then I ended up picking this up for kind of like a little birthday present. I got a birthday gift from Dior. Anyway, most of you guys saw that in my latest makeup haul, but this is Bronze Sepia. I'll show you guys some close-ups of swatches of this palette. My head was instantly turned by this palette, not only because it's just a beautiful neutral, but also I love sort of bronze and coppery shades. And I like the fact that the center three shades here, they're very neutral leaning, like not too warm, not too cool. You have some options. And then these two shades in the other corner have a little bit more warmth to them. So I like the fact that you have options. Let's do a quick look with this. I know a lot of you guys are eager to see how this applies. First off, I'm going to go into the center shade right there using a fluffy crease brush, and I'm going to apply this just as kind of like a base shade. I think my only qualm with this palette is that this shade is a little light. Like, it's a little bit pale. Great for blending on my skin tone. It works really well as a base. You know, it's not awful, but it's really not the most pigmented. I kind of wish that it was a little bit darker. What you could do is you could always take your powder bronzer and you could sort of use that if you just wanted a really basic brown. But this is a really, really nice base shade, and it just adds like a hint of color to my eyeballs. In general, friends, I'm just gonna let you know, I really do like this palette, and the rest of the shades kind of make up for the fact that this is a little bit more like a base or blending shade for me. Next, I'm going to use this medium tone brown that has a little bit of warmth to it. This is gonna be more of like a satiny metallic, and it has that really nice, soft, blendable formula that you get from Dior. No issues quality-wise with this palette. I think it really just depends on if you enjoy these tones. Now, this color, you can tell, this is more warm toned. So if you don't like warm tones, or if you don't like a mix of warm and neutral, I don't think I would recommend this palette, because look how warm this color is. You could go in with this color all over the lid if you want something very like wearable, easy, day appropriate. You could go in with this one if you have a deeper skin tone and you want something wearable, or if you are going for more of a nighttime look, you could go in with this, and then these become more like accent colors. Just kind of giving you guys some ideas of like how you could use this, but this is the look that I've been doing. So we're gonna layer the rest of the shades on in just a second. I'm taking a little detail brush and I'm gonna go into that deeper, I guess you would call this like a cool bronze shade, and I'm going to take that along the lower lash line. This is gonna be a little bit more of, I guess, a sultry look. I've been doing this look whenever I go out to dinner, or like have like a weekend thing. I'm gonna go back into that cool tone shade with a little fluffy brush, and I'm gonna start working that into the crease. And this is gonna take away a little bit of the warmth that we just created. So I'll show you how it kind of layers on top. It creates a little bit more depth. This is also a satin shade, but as a lot of you guys know, the satin shades from Dior, because they're a bit softer, I think they look fine in the crease. And a lot of you guys agree that they really don't, you know, emphasize texture. So if you kind of like a little bit of shimmer on your eyes, but you don't want to emphasize any like texture or wrinkles or anything like that, then this is usually a very beloved formula. See how that kind of added a little bit more depth and it doesn't look so coppery as it did before. That's what I love about this palette. All the colors really layer on top of each other super well, so that is kind of foolproof. Now I'm going into the other soft matte shade that is right here, and this is also a brown, but it's a little bit more matte and a little more warm toned, and I like to go in with an even smaller brush, at least for my eye shape, and just kind of work that around the edges. I'm also dragging it a little bit towards the inside here. Now I'm going back into that center shade, and like I said, this shade is great for blending out the edges, blending the colors together. So if you ever feel like it's looking a little bit patchy, you can always dip your brush into that shade and use it to kind of blend everything together. Lastly, I'm going to take the brightest shade here. This one is the most metallic, and I'm gonna apply this one to the center of the lid. Ooh, yeah, got a little disco ball action there. It's not so sparkly where it's gonna give you any fallout or anything. It's just a really nice metallic from Dior. If you guys like soft cashmere and you like that one really shiny shade, this is kind of like the warm toned version of that, or maybe like the more less gray version. Also putting that in the inner corner. You know, I was swatching this shade a second ago, and it's interesting because it's actually, I'll show you guys here on my hand, it's actually a mixture of copper and maybe white or light gold shimmer. See how it sparkles there, but it's not chunky? It's really pretty. It's like a multi-dimensional shimmer. I definitely think that this is one of my favorite palettes from Dior. I mean, it is kind of my vibe in terms of the color story, but it's so functional. Like, this is the kind of palette that you can bring anywhere. I wasn't planning on doing this at all, but I just had the thought as I was finishing up the eye look of maybe using one of the Victoria Beckham Eyewear eyeshadow sticks that just came out, and maybe trying to use it kind of as like an eyeliner or closer to the lash line. So I have here the shade Pecan, and I'm gonna try and smudge this along the lash line, because so far I've been using these a little bit more like all over the lid or kind of in the crease or in the center of the lid. I haven't used these specifically as an eyeliner. And if you guys have watched my review of these, you'll know I am a fan of them. I love how long wearing they are. Ooh, adds a little dimension. It's definitely more subtle than going in with, like, you know, my Pat McGrath eyeliner or whatever, but a lot of you guys are going for subtle, so I was like, why not? Let's give this a try. You need to work fast. A lot of you guys have been telling me, I don't know if this shade is like super blendable. My recommendation is work quickly. If you're having trouble blending it, I highly recommend draw it on the eye one by one, like draw it on, blend, draw it on, blend, because they set pretty quickly, and once they set, they really don't move. I think that's nice. It adds just a little bit of kind of soft dimension at the lash line. I don't know. What do you guys think? For mascara, I have a couple here. I don't think any of these are technically new, but they are new to me. First, I have the Jones Road mascara, but I think I'm gonna save this for like a roundup review of all the products. I've been testing that out a lot. I also have the Glossier mascara, the Lash Slick in the shade Brown. I was thinking of using this, but now that I see the eye look that we created, I think this might be a little bit too natural. I think the mascara I'm gonna use is actually this new one that I got in, I guess PR just gifted to me. This is from ESUM. I don't think this is new. I think it came out last year, but I just never got to try it. This is ESUM the mascara. Spoiler, it's bomb. It's really good. If it wasn't good, I wouldn't be talking about it. I'm getting more PR from brands and I can't really talk about everything. So I'm trying to show you guys just what is the very best. So first off, what I like about it is the wand. Look how like nice and slim and tapered it is, but the bristles are still long enough where you get some grip and volume, if you guys know what I'm talking about. I just like these types of wands because I get more control. I don't really like it when the wand is too big and bushy because then it gets a little bit messy. Also, I'll start putting it on so you guys can see. Also, this has really good longevity. I've tested it out a couple of times now. You guys know, like I'll test it on a weekend or going out or just all day. Peloton, y'all know the drill. This wears, I think, very, very well. And it adds a little bit more initial volume than maybe the Cali Ray mascara or the Tower 28 mascara. It's just good. Like, look at that. It's just good. I don't know. I haven't really tried much from ESUM. I have a couple of their brushes and I like all of them, but I only have a couple. And then I think I have maybe an eyeliner from them, and I remember that being good too. Comment down below if there's like more from this brand that I need to try. But so far, I like don't even know if I need a second coat. I'll probably do a second coat off camera because it's a little hard to do it in the camera. My thoughts here, friends, are that I think that this mascara is amazing. I love it. This might be a new favorite. I would definitely repurchase it for sure. All right, friends. So here is the look with the mascara. I did apply 2 coats. I think it looks so good. I need to know if you guys have tried this and if you like it too. I also took my hair down. I tried to fix it. It's a little whack today. Forgive me. Next, we're going to take a look at some lip products. So the first thing, this was sent to me. This is by Kaja, and it has a long name, so I'm gonna read it. This is the Kaja Jelly Charm Glazed Lip Stain and Blush with Keychain. And this thing is so cute. Apparently this is new, okay? So they sent me a couple of things, and it's got one of these little things on it. Woo! And it's like you can play with it and whatnot. But anyway, I wanted to show this to you guys because it's actually a really nice formula. This shade is called Berry Colada. This is a really nice, like moisturizing. It's a very creamy formula and it's very natural. It smells fruity. It smells super duper good. It's very similar if you're familiar with a lot of other like Korean beauty products. They have a lot of sort of lip stain with a bit of shine types of lip products, and apparently you can put this on your cheeks as well. I have been wearing this in a couple of other videos, and I've noticed a lot of you guys have been clicking on this, just taking a look at me listing it in the description box. I think it's such a beautiful color. I love the scent. It's like fruity, but not overwhelming. I think it's super cute. This retails for $25. So just wanted to show this to you guys if you want a cute, easy, moisturizing little sort of lip stain, lip cream that maybe you can pick up in the Sephora sale. Next, I'm actually gonna wipe it off now that you've already seen it, and I'm gonna show you the new lip colors that I got from Guerlain. So I've got both of the new lipstick cases. These should still be available if you missed it, guys, or if you are new to my channel. This is a new collection from Guerlain. It's their summer 2023 collection. It's called Floral Denim, and it comes with these beautiful limited edition lipstick cases. I have a full review of this collection. Unfortunately, the eyeshadow palette sold out. We're waiting for that to come back, but I wanted to show you guys the 2 shades that I got here because actually just this afternoon, I had another shade arrive because I did pick up the other second case for myself. So the first shade that I have here is shade number 11, and this is the shade that I had in my review. It's a very beautiful nude. This has been functioning for me. As you can see, it's not that far off from my natural lip color. It's just been functioning for me as kind of like a whack it on my lips but better type of shade. But a lot of you guys in the comments were also talking about some of the other like very nude, very wearable shades and kind of making recommendations. So I also picked up for this case, this is shade number 3. And this was described, I think, as a brown. It's not a brown. It's very hard to find accurate representations of these Guerlain lipsticks. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to show you in this video. Okay, so this is number 11 and then this is number 3. How is this brown? Okay, this one is definitely nude, maybe a hint of brown, like it's a little bit warm, but this looks more like a rose, like a rosy brown. That being said, it's absolutely beautiful. So we're gonna try this one on with this look. It might be a little bit too bold, but that's okay. I don't really care. This is a little bit more like a lipstick for me, whereas the other one, because I have pigmented lips, it's not super dark on me. This one is a little bit more like romantic. It kind of reminds me of like the BK Beauty lipsticks, the Rose Ink lipsticks, Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk sorts of tones, because it's just got that really nice like nudie pink sort of look to it. I love this. I think it is so beautiful. I'm going to be listing these two shades and both of the lipstick cases down below in case you guys want to reference those. I just thought you would be interested in this because I think with Guerlain, they have a lot of reds and deeper shades. They need to come out with lighter, more wearable shades. Not that I don't love a red, I do, but I just don't reach for them as much. And when I buy something, you know, as nice as this lipstick case, it is nice to keep it in my bag all the time so that I can whip it out and I have a color that goes with most of my looks. Oh, also new from Guerlain, they have a new fragrance out. I have a sample of it. It is called Jasmin Bonheur. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that okay. And it smells so nice. I'm very tempted to get it. Let me read the description of this from their website. It says that it unveils a colorful jasmine tinted with joyous nuances, radiant orange with an apricot note, vibrant violet with powdery iris, and tender pink with rose. And the perfumer drew inspiration from the dazzling palette of Henri Matisse. I love Matisse, so maybe that's why I love this fragrance. I'm gonna spray a little bit of this. I've been just trying it out, the little sample. It smells very floral and delicate, but I like the fact that sort of some of those like more fruity and floral and feminine scents are balanced out by the deeper scent of the jasmine, because jasmine is a white flower. And I can definitely smell a little bit of like the apricot fruity notes on that top layer. It's a really nice blend of like not too sweet, not too flowery, not too deep either. Perfect for spring. I'm definitely considering picking this up. Man, I wish that they had this line of fragrances at Sephora and I could get it in the Sephora sale. If you place an order on the Guerlain website, this is one of the options for samples that you can receive as a part of your order. And that's what I did. So now I have 2 samples of this that I am using up right now. So yeah, friends, this is the final look. What do we think of it? I'm kind of happy that I didn't do a traditional eyeliner and I used the Victoria Beckham Eyewear because I feel like it made the look a little bit softer. And so the lip is a little bit more appropriate now. But I love the Dior eyeshadow. I love the lipsticks. Love the Jones Road bronzer. I like the Givenchy concealer. I pretty much like everything except the Saie foundation. Recommend everything there. With the Rare Beauty bronzer sticks, I really think it just depends on your skin tone and what type of tone you prefer. And once again, I am going to be doing kind of like a new with Rare Beauty roundup video as soon as I get the new blushes and the lip oil. So stay tuned for that. But that's it, friends. Sound off in those comments down below and let me know what you think. Did you try out any of these new products? Let us know your experience because your experience is worth just as much as mine. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it or if you found it helpful. Definitely consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already and you want to hear about more new makeup releases. And with that, friends, I hope that you are having a fantastic day and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.